Okay everyone, this is Darkener and I'm going to do some commentary on a PvE Discipline Priest Healing raid fight. This is Fang the Accursed. It's the first boss in Mogushu Vaults. Actually, don't really know how to pronounce it. But what I wanted to do was address some of the issues about mana. This is the current build. It's 16010, I think, whatever it is, or 16. Let me see. 16004 was this one. This was after the mana cost for spells was decreased, so this was supposed to be the fix for priest mana. So I decided on this fight that I was just going to try and heal as much as I could within reason. If there's a lot of raid damage, prayer of healing. Otherwise, I'm going to do tank healing. But as you'll see, even though I try my hardest to heal, Discipline Priest is not kind of keeping up with the other healers, and in fact going out of mana, falling behind, as you will see. Okay, so let's get this started. Alright, as you can see, the healing is all cleared. Alright, so just tank damage at this point, so I'm doing some smite healing, stacking up my From Darkness Comes Light, which is great. So there I'm actually in my PvP gear, so I got the 50% healing bonus on that on the tank. Okay, here's some AoE damage. I'm like, oh crap, prayer of healing. Prayer of healing, which is what I would normally do. I mean, this is, just during this phase, prayer of healing, the various different groups. Okay, things are back under control again. Go back to tank healing. That was great. Okay, so how do we fare right now? Well, the boss is at, I'm not even sure, that's still in the 90% range. My mana is 50%, more than 50% gone. I am number 2 on the healing meters so far. The Mistweaver Monk is number 1. There's a couple of Resto Druids. This Holy Paladin, I'm not sure. This Holy Paladin might have been asleep for most of this fight and didn't really heal as much. And then down here, this is also a Disc Priest. So 2 Discipline Priests, Mistweaver Monk, Resto Druids, Holy Paladin. I'm at less than 50% mana. Here you can see me. Let's see. Spira. Okay, Spira is at 50% mana. So we're kind of even in terms of mana. JYIY is right here. I'd say this is 60 or 70%, probably about 70%. Nourishing is over here at 80% about. Nourishing was a bit more conservative. Athenor is up here more than me, a little bit more conservative than me, which is probably better, but that wasn't the point. I was trying to heal as much as I could to see if I could be competitive with the other healers. And even when I heal as much as I can, am I competitive with the other healers? Well, let's see. Let's continue on here. So now I'm going back to my smite heals, atonement healing, trying to get stacks From Darkness Comes Light. Okay, I got 2 now. But wait, AoE damage. I got to go back to prayer healing. I'm using prayer of healing and cascade. That's the only 2 real AoE heals I have now as a Disc Priest is Cascade and Prayer of Healing. I really don't know what else they expect us to cast here as a Discipline Priest. There I can reapply shield to the tank, and I'm back to smiting because after that AoE phase, which still hasn't really finished yet, alright, I'm I'm out of mana. 259 million out of 318 million. I'm not really sure what we're supposed to be doing to heal this. You know, as you can see down here, I have no mana, so I have to revert back to my cheapest heals. We're not even 80% in, 10% or 20% into the fight. It's ridiculous. So I'm out of mana. Nourishing still has plenty of mana. Let's look at the Mistweaver Monk is down here. The Mistweaver Monk is almost as much out of mana as I am. But for some reason, the Mistweaver Monk is still healing like there's, you know, tomorrow. Pretty good healing. Now, it's not a huge difference. 3, 4, 4, 2, 4, 3. And this Discipline Priest over here, primarily casting Cascade. And then waiting the full cooldown and then casting it again. Alright, so I'm out of mana now. Now what do I do? Go back to heal. Heal, heal, heal. We can't lose our Mistweaver Monk. All of our heals would be gone. So the Mistweaver Monk, I'm completely I mean, I'm at nothing. Nourishing still has plenty. Here I am, I'm casting Shadow Fiend and Hymn of Hope. This is the only thing I can do to regenerate mana other than my normal spirit mana regen. Prayer of Healing. So I had about 30-some% mana after that Shadow Fiend and Hymn of Hope. 2 mana regen cooldowns gone. Prayer of Healing. Alright, Penance. You know, I'm casting Prayer of Healing, Penance. I was smiting. I wasn't really doing something outlandishly horrible. Alright, and Darkener down here as the Discipline Priest is falling way behind. 32k HPS. Mistweaver Monk 48, 49k HPS. Look at that. That's just outstanding. This Mistweaver Monk has no mana. Wow, mana just popped back up a bit. But even when the Mistweaver Monk has no mana, somehow he's healing his ass off. I'm not sure what's going on. I used my Cascade there because that's all I have, other than Prayer of Healing. Alright, so I've used my Shadow Fiend. I've used my Hymn of Hope. The boss is at, it's not even at 50% yet, 60%. So I've gone through a complete rotation of mana regen, and I'm definitely going to start lagging behind here because I'm out of mana. At this point, until Shadow Fiend comes off cooldown again, I can only cast as fast as my mana regen will allow me. So I'm standing around doing absolutely nothing until I have enough mana regenning to cast a spell. Stand around, cast heal. Hope that I get procs of From Darkness Comes Light. This Divine Insight really isn't helping me because power word shields are extremely expensive and they should only go on a tank. I'm not casting Power Word Shield on anything other than a tank, and it causes me to go So I'm not spamming shields. I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary, other than now at this point I'm kind of just standing around doing nothing, casting a couple smites if I can afford to do it. I'm at 1% mana now again. Enough. Alright, so now I've got a couple of Surge of Light procs, Prayer of Mending, Surge of Light, or Flash Heal, because I'm trying to just keep heals on the tank at this point. I'm a useless healer. I can't heal the raid. I'm going to have to stand around and just do the best I can to keep one target alive. You know, Disciplined Priest should be able to do that. Keep one target alive. But that's hard. Probably should not have done a Prayer of Healing there. But I had the mana to do it, and I'm pretty much just casting. You know, it's kind of like as soon as you can afford to do it, you spend it. Because what else are you going to do? Stand around and just wait for your mana to get back to what, 50%? Because what good is that going to do? So I actually use Spirit Shell here. I don't really know this fight. I'm trying to prepare for what I think might be some AoE damage to come up. But I don't know if you saw that. I cast it. So this right here is the duration left of Spirit Shell. So I have 4 more seconds to cast heals that will put a Spirit Shell on targets. This 8 seconds is I have a Spirit Shell on me, and it's only going to last 8 more seconds. There's nothing in the UI to indicate whether targets are capped or not. So Spirit Shell it's kind of like driving blind. You really have no idea what you're doing, and you have absolutely no clue if what you're doing is helping, because there's no way of knowing whether or not you've capped someone out or not, whether they are below cap again so that you can cast another Spirit Shell on them. I don't even know how the, well, it's an absorb, so it should show up. Absorbs are showing up, but I have no idea. I really don't know what good Spirit Shell is. Of course, the AoE didn't come during Spirit Shell. Spirit Shell expired, and I think it was a waste of mana. So it'll be very important to properly time Spirit Shell. So 7% mana. You know, I actually tried healing as much as I could. I got a really good start, but I'm behind the resto druids now. And here I'm close to dying. I had to desperate prayer myself. I need to get out of these arcane barrages, or whatever these things are. Those people really should be moving a little bit more out of the way. So every time you hear the auction dinging thing goes, that means my cascade is back available. The spell won't light up though, because I don't have enough mana to cast it, and I never will, because if I try to keep heals on people. Alright, here I'm taking a potion of concentration because I'm just sick and tired of having no mana. That got me from about a few percent to about 15%, and it's mostly gone now. Sad Discipline Priests. We are not doing very well on this fight. I really don't know what the problem with this Holy Paladin is, because Holy Paladins totally rock now. Might be because everyone's all spread out. Um, and Holy Paladins maybe need people to be grouped up, stacked up a little bit better to maximize their heals. I'm not even sure. I'm not a Holy Paladin. I don't have one. Alright, so that was pathetic. Um, so I did, what is it, 9.5 million. The next person above me, Resto Druid, did 13.3 million, then 16.3 million, 18.1 million. This is almost twice as much as me. So, do I go over here and hover over what they cast? Alright, so Mistweaver Monk, Renewing Mists, Uplift, Gift of the Serpent. Basically just raid healing. When you see the top 3 healed at such low percent, and they did the most healing, they're just pretty much raid healing. Alright, this Resto Druid, Wild Growth, 27%, Tranquility. So that's another area where Discipline Priests are really gonna, they're gonna lag behind because we have no raid heal. I know that Blizzard thinks we have raid cooldowns, but having a cooldown and having a raid heal is a completely different thing. Having something like a power word barrier and actually having a heal is a completely different thing. Powered barrier is not a heal. It requires the entire raid to be stacked in a tiny little area. And in this fight, as you can see, people were not stacked in a tiny little area. There was no way, I mean, other than maybe just waste an entire barrier on a tank. But the boss runs around too and goes all around the board. So we have really piss poor healing cooldowns now. Now that Divine Hymn is gone. What I didn't do was cast Archangel because I wasn't really, I'm not sure why, I wasn't really used to it. And I'll have to, you'll see in the next boss fight as well. I'll do a commentary on that one. I try to last a little bit longer in the next one. I try to pace myself and see if maybe the reason why I didn't heal as much was because I didn't pace my mana like the developers intended. And if I had just paced myself, that the healing I would do gradually over time would actually result in me actually healing for more and being, competitive with the other healers, which is total hogwash. Let's see what this Resto Shaman did. Wild Growth, Tranquility, Swift Men. Looks pretty similar to the last one. They just Tranquility when they need to raid heal, and it's great. Alright. Where's me? Alright. Why I skipped over me so fast? I think it went back to me. Divine Aegis, Prayer of Healing, and Cascade. Okay. Cascade almost healed for as much as Prayer of Healing. And I hit Cascade, I mean, 4 or 5 times because it's got such a long cooldown. So Cascade for any fight where people are spread out is absolutely necessary for a throughput for a Discipline Priest. I can't stress that enough. You have to take Cascade. Halo might have been okay, but see, Halo, there's a lot of people standing in the middle, a lot of people standing at the edge. People standing in the middle get healed for less than a Holy Nova. Less. You'd actually heal for more if you just cast Holy Nova on the people close to you than Halo would heal them. That's how bad Halo is for people that are within 10 or even 15 yards of you. You're almost better off just casting Holy Nova, as bad as that one is. Really not much else to say. So the other Discipline Priest, look at that Cascade, #1 heal, 40%. This priest was, even if you were just atonement healing, I don't know how you could only do that little. 917,000, didn't even break 1,000,000. So, all right. So that is one fight as Discipline, where I tried to, as you saw at the beginning, I tried to heal my ass off, ran myself out of mana, was competitive for a few minutes, not even a few minutes, I can't even say, it was probably like 20 seconds, and then I was Alright, so take a look at the next boss fight. I'll do a video on that one. In that one I'm going to try and pace myself more, and we'll see how that works out, if it works out. Alright, thanks for watching.